Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into something huge, a challenge that, honestly, touches almost everyone, managing weight sustainably. Our sources kicked off with a pretty stark statistic from the WHO. Did you see that? 1 in 3 people globally are dealing with overweight or obesity.
Yeah, it's staggering. And often it really does trace back to, well, simple errors in our daily lives, our habits. And that's exactly why we're digging in today. Our mission here is really specific. We're looking past the quick fixes, the fads. We want to get into foundational, practical strategies, and not just for looks, but really to tackle those serious health risks, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, that kind of thing.
So actionable stuff people can do at home, but also understanding the why behind it, like the science bit.
Precisely. Simple home tips connected right to the science, especially hormonal balance, linking what you do to how your body actually works for long-term success.
Okay, let's unpack this. Before we get to fixing things, maybe we should quickly touch on what's physically happening when that excess fat builds up. It's not just about shape, is it?
Not at all. It fundamentally changes how your body operates. The materials we looked at really stress this. That accumulation, it actually slows down your metabolism. Your body has to work harder for everything.
Which leads to?
Well, chronic fatigue, for one, really poor sleep. And it puts a bigger load on your heart, increasing risk there, too. It's like the whole system just gets sluggish.
A complete systemic slowdown. Okay.
Exactly. But the good news is turning this around doesn't have to start with something super complicated. Consistency is the absolute key.
Sure.
We saw this great little anecdote in the research. This person they called Member Sahib.
Oh, yeah. What was the story?
Successfully lost 8 kilograms, about 17 pounds, in 6 months. And get this, using just 3 basic home habits consistently.
Okay, I'm listening. What were they?
Number 1, regular early morning walking. Number 2, swapping out a lot of the usual rice or bread for more greens, more vegetables. And 3, just drinking enough water consistently.
That does sound almost too simple. Why those 3 things specifically? What's the mechanism?
Okay, well, they hit core metabolic issues directly. That morning walk helps set your body clock, your circadian rhythm, optimizes hormone release. Plus, it immediately boosts insulin sensitivity. Your body starts handling sugar better right away.
Makes sense. And the food swap?
Trading rice for greens, you immediately get more fiber, more volume, makes you feel fuller, slows digestion down, fewer energy crashes.
Right. And water. We always hear about water.
It's the baseline. Every single cell needs it to function. Metabolism runs on water. Simple, but absolutely critical.
So it's not just drink more water, it's enable your metabolism. That reframes it.
It does. It turns a suggestion into a real metabolic strategy.
The sources also laid out a kind of checklist, didn't they? For anyone wanting to start, like, right now.
Yes, and it's powerful because it's all about that consistency. Aim for a regular 30-minute walk, preferably morning. Cut your usual intake of refined carbs. Think white rice, white bread, maybe by half to start.
Okay.
Drink 2 to 3 liters of water daily. Really prioritize getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Minimize those oily, fried, super processed foods. And, a big one, try to eliminate sweets and especially sugary soft drinks.
Let's pause on that last one. Cutting out a can of soda seems small, but you're saying the impact is actually massive.
Oh, it's disproportionately huge. And here's why. Based on the research, liquid sugar is kind of a supervillain here. When you drink a soda, that huge hit of sugar bypasses normal digestion. Bam, insulin spikes like crazy.
Okay.
That sudden flood just overwhelms the liver. And what does the liver do? It converts that instant sugar overload directly into visceral fat.
The dangerous internal fat.
Exactly, the stuff packed around your organs. Solid food takes time to break down. Liquid sugar, it's a fast track right to belly fat storage.
Wow. So skipping 1 soda a day could actually be one of the quickest ways to start reducing that specific type of fat.
It really could be. Now, what about those myths we always hear?
Like coffee. People say, oh, I'll just drink coffee to kill my appetite.
Right. And while, yeah, coffee might temporarily blunt hunger, it's definitely not a weight loss silver bullet. The research flagged that too much caffeine can dehydrate you. And let's be honest, who drinks black coffee? Add sugar or milk, and boom, you're just adding calories back in, potentially gaining weight.
Okay, good point. And lemon water. That's another popular one.
Lemon water is fine. It can aid digestion a bit, but it's not some magic potion. It only really helps if it's part of a bigger picture, the proper diet, the exercise. It needs the whole strategy. You got to do the work. #tag2. Mastering portion control and mindful eating.
Okay, so we've got the basic habits down. Walking, water, sleep, fewer processed foods. What's the next level? Tactical eating.
Exactly. Let's talk portion control. And this is more than just eat less. It's about actively managing the amount of food you eat. The goal is to regulate calories, sure, but also to build an eating pattern you can actually stick with long term. Sustainable is the key word.
So how do you do that practically?
Yeah.
Without getting obsessive?
Well, the materials suggested some simple tools, measuring cups, maybe a food scale at home initially, just to calibrate your eye. Some plates even have portion guides printed on them.
Okay.
But if you're out, visual cues work pretty well, like a serving of protein, roughly the size of your palm, carbs, about what fits in your cupped hand, vegetables, pile them on. It helps make the right amount feel normal, habitual.
That makes sense. And that connects to the balanced plate idea, right?
Yeah.
How should we structure meals?
Yes, every meal should ideally have a structure. Think lean protein, complex carbohydrates, the whole grain, lots and lots of vegetables, and some healthy fats. That structure is designed for keeping you full and keeping your metabolism humming.
Let's break that down. Protein, why is that so vital when you're trying to manage weight?
Protein does a couple of critical things. First, it's the most satiating nutrient. It makes you feel fuller, longer, compared to fats or carbs. And crucially important, it helps preserve your muscle mass when you're eating fewer calories. Losing muscle is bad news. It slows your metabolism down even more.
So sources like chicken, fish, beans, Greek yogurt, non-negotiable.
Pretty much. Then carbs. How do we choose wisely there? Avoid the crashes. Key distinction. Refined versus complex. Refined carbs, white bread, pasta, white rice, they cause that rapid blood sugar spike, then the crash. Leaves you hungry again half an hour later.
Right, the roller coaster.
Exactly. You want complex carbs. Things like quinoa, brown rice, sweet potatoes, oats. They're packed with fiber. That fiber means slower digestion, sustained energy release, no crazy blood sugar spikes. It keeps your energy and mood much more stable.
Okay. And you mentioned healthy fats are essential too. What's their role?
They are absolutely vital. Good for overall health, but also powerful for satiety. They slow down how quickly your stomach empties. We're talking avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil. You need them to feel satisfied and actually absorb certain vitamins. Don't fear the right fats.
So let's say you've built the perfect plate. How do you stop yourself from, just inhaling it while watching TV?
Yes. That brings us to mindful eating. This is about how you eat, not just what. It means slowing down. Paying attention to the actual flavors, the textures, tuning into your body's real hunger and fullness signals, not just eating because it's there or you're bored.
Any tricks for that?
One simple one from the research, the 20-minute rule. It takes about that long for your stomach's fullness signals to actually reach your brain. So maybe put your fork down between bites, chew thoroughly, savor it, give your hormones time to catch up and register, okay, I'm getting full now.
Good tip. And we keep coming back to hydration, don't we? The simplest appetite curb.
Absolutely. Keep drinking water throughout the day. It's so easy to mistake thirst for hunger and grab a snack you don't really need.
Keep water handy. Maybe drink a glass before a meal. That can help with portion control, too. And if you are going to snack, make it count. Nutrient-dense stuff.
Yeah.
Veggies and hummus, a small handful of nuts. Avoid those impulsive, mindless grabs.
Okay, we've covered the plate, the habits, but sometimes it feels like your own body is working against you, right? Like the hunger signals are just broken. You're doing the walking, drinking the water, eating protein. Why is your brain still screaming for food?
That's often where hormones come into play. They're the body's chemical messengers, the conductors, really. They regulate metabolism, hunger, fat storage, everything. And when they get out of balance, that can cause that really stubborn weight gain, the kind that just doesn't seem to budge with normal dieting. It's incredibly frustrating for people.
So let's get into these key players. Cortisol. The stress hormone.
Yes. The research really flags this one. Chronic ongoing stress keeps cortisol levels high. And that cortisol does two things. It ramps up your appetite, often for sugary, fatty foods, and it tells your body to store fat, specifically around the abdomen.
Why the abdomen? Why there? It seems to be physiological. That area, your belly, actually has a higher concentration of cortisol receptors. So when cortisol is flooding your system, your body thinks it's in constant danger, maybe a famine. It prioritizes storing energy fat in the most readily accessible place, centrally, visceral fat.
Like an emergency stockpile.
Kind of, yeah. Think of cortisol as your body's panicked financial manager when stress hits. It grabs any quick energy, sugar, and shoves the rest into the most secure vault, belly fat.
So managing stress isn't just nice to have. It's a core part of the strategy.
Absolutely. Those stress reduction techniques, deep breathing, meditation, even just calming walks, they are just as critical as changing your diet. It's behavioral meets biological.
Okay. Then there's the thyroid, the body's thermostat.
Right. It directly controls your metabolic rate, how fast you burn energy. If your thyroid is underactive hypothyroidism, your whole metabolism just slows right down. That can cause weight gain that seems to come out of nowhere, plus fatigue, feeling cold.
And that needs a doctor, right?
Right. Definitely needs medical evaluation. But just knowing it's a possibility helps understand why the scale might be stuck, even if you're doing other things right.
But for many people, even with stress managed and thyroid okay, the real battle seems to be appetite itself. Leptin and ghrelin.
Ah, yes, the hunger hormones. This gets fascinating. Ghrelin is the go signal. It stimulates hunger, makes you want to eat. Leptin is the stop signal. It's released by fat cells and tells your brain, okay, we're full, enough energy stored.
So they should balance each other out.
In a healthy system, yes. But here's a major issue in chronic obesity. The body can develop leptin resistance.
What does that mean? Leptin resistance, what does that feel like?
It feels like the full signal is completely broken. Your fat cells are actually producing loads of leptin, practically shouting, we're full, stop eating. But the brain, it's like the radio receiver is busted. It just doesn't get the message. The signal isn't registering.
Wow, so the brain thinks it's starving even when it's not.
Essentially, yes. That imbalance leads to persistent overeating because that crucial stop signal never lands.
So how do you fix a broken radio signal? What's the strategy?
The number one strategy mentioned across the sources: prioritize sleep. Quality, deep sleep seems crucial for improving leptin sensitivity. And sticking to those nutrient-dense, high-fiber foods we talked about also helps.
But hang on, that sounds like a vicious cycle. The sources also mention obesity often causes sleep problems like sleep apnea.
It absolutely can.
So if poor sleep makes leptin resistance worse, which makes you overeat more, gain more weight, which makes sleep even worse, how do you even start to break that cycle?
It's tough. You have to start small, but be really intentional, maybe even with medical support for the sleep issues. Start with that 30-minute walk that improves insulin sensitivity. Focus hard on sleep hygiene, cool, dark room, no screens before bed. Even small improvements in sleep quality, combined with better food choices and movement, can start to slowly repair that leptin signaling. Incrementally. It takes time.
Okay. And finally, insulin's role in all this.
Insulin manages blood sugar, right. But insulin resistance is a huge driver of weight gain. It basically means your cells aren't responding properly to insulin anymore, so sugar can't get into the cells easily for energy, and the body ends up storing way more of it as fat instead. It also makes it harder to burn stored fat.
Yeah, fix there.
Strongly lifestyle-based. Careful management of carbohydrate intake, especially refined carbs. Regular exercise is key because it forces muscle cells to take up glucose. And sticking to that balanced whole foods diet.
We should probably also quickly mention conditions like menopause and PCOS. They throw hormones into flux too.
Absolutely. Both involve major hormonal shifts that directly impact metabolism and often lead to fat redistribution, more weight around the middle, which can be really stubborn. Medical management is often needed, yes, but the lifestyle adjustments have to be really comprehensive. The research specifically highlighted strength training as being extra important in these cases.
Why strength training?
To maintain or even build muscle mass. Muscle is your metabolic engine. Keeping that engine strong helps counteract some of those hormonal effects on metabolism. So it's diet, sleep, stress, and targeted exercise like strength work. Multifaceted.
Okay, controlling the plate at home is one thing, but eating out, that's where the best intentions get seriously tested, right? Menus are tempting, portions are huge.
Restaurants are practically designed calorie traps. It's their business model in a way. The key isn't just willpower, it's planning and awareness. The best tip from our sources: check the menu online before you go.
Pre-planning.
Yes. Decide what you're likely to order before you even sit down and get hit with the smells and the descriptions. Have a healthy backup plan in mind. Know your order.
And when you're looking at that menu, any red flag words we should watch out for?
Oh, yeah. Be wary of things like crispy, breaded, creamy, smothered, loaded, fried. Those usually scream high calories and unhealthy fats.
What should we look for instead?
Prioritize words like grilled, baked, broiled, steamed, roasted. Look for dishes centered around lean proteins and vegetables. And don't hesitate to ask for dressings or sauces on the side. You control how much goes on.
Okay, good tips. But what about the social side? Peer pressure is real.
It really is. If your friends are all ordering triple fried cheese bombs, it's tough. The advice is usually to politely, calmly communicate your preferences. You don't need to launch into a lecture about your diet. Maybe just, I'm trying to focus on feeling better these days, or I'm aiming for something lighter tonight. Keep it simple.
And once the food's there, bring back the mindful eating.
Exactly. Reinforce those mindful habits right there at the restaurant table. Use that 20-minute rule. Eat slowly. Really taste the food. Put your fork down. Try to avoid distractions. Put the phone away that lead to just shoveling it in without noticing.
This all really comes back to sustainability, doesn't it? Versus those crash diets.
Totally. Extreme diets almost always fail long term. They lead to rebound weight gain because they're just not livable, psychologically or physiologically. The much healthier, saner approach is finding balance. You can have treats, you can enjoy indulgences sometimes, but it needs to be mindful in moderation. You need to prevent that occasional slice of cake from turning into a whole weekend binge. It's about fitting your healthy plan into your life, not making life miserable for the plan. #tag outro.
Okay, this deep dive has given us a really solid framework, I think. It connects those basic daily habits with a much deeper understanding of our internal biology.
Yeah, the core message is pretty clear, isn't it? Sustainable success hangs on three interconnected things. Those foundational habits, the walking, the sleep, the water. Then the tactical eating skills, portion control, mindfulness. And finally, really acknowledging and working with your hormonal balance, especially managing stress and cortisol, and understanding those hunger signals like leptin.
And definitely don't forget tracking progress. The research reminded us how important that is for staying motivated, whether it's a food journal or just noticing you sleep better. Celebrate those small wins.
Motivation is everything for the long haul. But let's leave you with one last thing to chew on, so to speak. Our sources pointed out something important. Hormonal shifts don't just affect hunger, they strongly affect mood. And that often leads straight to emotional eating.
Ah, right. Using food to cope.
Exactly. So while tracking food and portions is vital, it's only part of the puzzle. The crucial next step, perhaps, is actively developing non-food ways to cope with stress, boredom, sadness. Things like, diving into a hobby, calling a friend, practicing some real mindfulness techniques, finding ways to break that direct line connecting hormones, emotions, and eating.
So the final question for you, the listener, is this. What's your go-to strategy for handling stress that doesn't involve heading for the kitchen? Think about it.